In the summer of 1967, the Beatles were at the height of their fame. They were touring the world, selling out stadiums, and creating timeless music that would shape generations. During a break in their hectic schedule, Paul McCartney decided to take a well-deserved vacation on a remote island in the Caribbean. Paul, accompanied by his then-girlfriend, Linda, set off on their adventure. They were looking forward to some peace and quiet away from the constant frenzy of Beatlemania. The island they chose was known for its pristine beaches and lush tropical landscapes, making it the perfect place to unwind. One morning, Paul and Linda decided to explore the island's natural beauty by going for a stroll through the dense jungle. As they walked hand in hand, they marveled at the exotic flora and fauna surrounding them. Suddenly, a peculiar sight caught Paul's eye. There, in the midst of the tropical wilderness, stood an enormous and majestic peacock, its vibrant plumage shimmering in the sunlight. The bird seemed to be posing as if it were a part of a grand royal procession. "Look, Linda! A peacock! I've never seen one up close before," Paul exclaimed, filled with childlike wonder. Linda chuckled and replied, "Isn't it beautiful? Let's get a closer look." As they cautiously approached the magnificent bird, it continued to display its tail feathers in a breathtaking spectacle. Paul couldn't resist taking out his camera to capture the moment. "Smile, peacock. You're going to be a star," Paul playfully joked as he snapped a few pictures. The peacock, seemingly unimpressed by Paul's celebrity status, maintained its regal composure. However, as Linda attempted to get a bit too close, the proud bird let out a warning squawk and took a few steps back. Paul laughed heartily and said, "I think the peacock is telling us to keep our distance, love." Linda nodded, and they continued to admire the peacock from a respectful distance. After a while, they decided it was time to head back to their villa. As they retraced their steps through the jungle, they noticed something peculiar on the ground. It was a trail of feathers, not just any feathers, but the ones from the peacock's spectacular tail display. Paul and Linda exchanged puzzled glances. "Oh no, we must have scared it," Linda said with a hint of guilt. Paul replied with a cheeky grin, "Don't worry, love. The peacock was probably just shedding a few feathers for souvenirs." They continued their journey, unaware of what awaited them at their villa. The next morning, Paul and Linda were enjoying a leisurely breakfast when a loud knock interrupted their peaceful moment. They opened the door to find the villa's caretaker, Mr. Gonzalez, looking quite flustered. "Senor McCartney, Sonora. There's a big problem outside," Mr. Gonzalez exclaimed, gesturing for them to follow him. Curious and concerned, Paul and Linda rushed outside to see what the commotion was all about. To their shock and amusement, they found the villa's garden in a state of disarray, with an array of vibrant peacock feathers strewn all over the place. It turned out that the peacock had decided to pay a surprise visit to their villa during the night. It had entered through an open window, mesmerized by its own reflection in a large mirror. In its attempt to impress the other peacock in the mirror, it had strutted and danced around the room, shedding feathers as it performed its majestic display. The mirror, of course, had no intention of reciprocating, leaving the poor peacock quite perplexed. Paul and Linda burst into fits of laughter at the sight of the mischievous bird's antics. The villa's staff, initially worried about the damage, couldn't help but join in on the hilarity of the situation. Eventually, with a little coaxing, the peacock found its way back outside, leaving behind a trail of laughter and a memorable mess. As the days passed, Paul and Linda fondly recounted the fowl encounter to friends and family. The story became a cherished anecdote that they would laugh about for years to come. So Paul McCartney's encounter with the mischievous peacock reminds us that even the most majestic and awe-inspiring creatures can have their moments of vulnerability and confusion. It also teaches us the importance of respecting nature and wildlife, allowing them to thrive in their natural habitat without undue disturbance. Moreover, the story underscores the value of embracing unexpected moments of laughter and joy, even in the midst of life's busy schedules. Sometimes, the most memorable experiences are the ones that catch us by surprise and remind us of the lighter side of life. In the end, Paul McCartney's fowl encounter became a treasured memory, showcasing the beauty of finding humor and delight in the unlikeliest of situations.
Thank you for listening. For more stories like this, please consider subscribing.